Hey, what's up guys? My name's Katrina
I'm Rahul.
and this is our channel. We're gonna have a nice, fun and interesting and insightful talks.
Yeah,
We're gonna bring people in.
Yep, and we're gonna have a lot of fun while doing it as well.
Yeah, and hopefully you'll have fun listening. So
Yeah, that's your option, but yeah.
that's an option, that's right. So yeah, let's start this.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go. Excellent.
That was an evil laugh.
Yeah. I was pretty evil laugh actually, to be honest.
Just evil in general.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I could be like a villain, you know, like a.
Well, a couple days ago you told me how you want to do this video about Andrew Yang.
Yes. And how it's gonna affect world politics, and if he becomes the president, the world in general, like
Yeah.
in
And
terms of everything.
our little country. Well,
Oh,
not so little, Australia.
100%, like 100%, like it has to, like, in some way, shape, or form, because like literally, Australia follows the footsteps of America in every single way, like in terms of policies, as well as in terms of national defense capabilities.
Mhm.
Even if like you can see the bushfire right now, right? Who do you think the first ones were who they called for help?
Well, New Zealand fires were here the first. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
but
Although I wish that we followed more in American
Right.
footsteps in terms of the bushfires, because
Like-
at the moment the government's not doing much.
exactly. I
Our-
mean, I agree with you 100%.
Our leader went to Hawaii for holidays,
Yeah.
and we're not even like with the wildfires. We're not even like doing much about it. We're just containing the fire and like defending property. California, they have like 50 planes to. 50 bush like firefighting planes.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the state
yeah,
of
yeah.
California.
Yes.
We have like I don't know. We have a couple of big planes, but the rest is like 1-2 tons of water. It's nothing.
Yeah, true. I agree. Like, it's not even effective enough, and we are like actually dealing with all the issues
Yeah.
of. Yeah, I think tomorrow is the worst, right? One of the worst days. That's all. Like,
I mean, every
every single day
is
is
gonna
the
be.
worst day.
Oh, okay, guys, tomorrow's gonna be the worst day ever, and it's like, yeah, well, you've just told that to us yesterday, so how bad is gonna be even worse than yesterday? Yeah. So when you told me about Andrew Yang,
yes. What was your first reaction? Like, what did you think about it?
I was like, who is he? Because I was going for Bernie the whole time. Well, I was going Bernie Sanders.
Dude, Bernie is a classic. Like, I agree with you completely. He is like the guy who's been standing up against establishment for like quite some time. It's been like how many? Like more than like 5 to 10 years easily.
Yeah.
And every single time the media tries to shun him, everyone's against him. They never give him the spotlight. He lost out to Hillary as well. Hillary went on to lose to Trump. And here we are, like, in this situation where the leader of the most powerful man in the world is a reality star.
Yeah.
That's
the Doritos guy. Yeah. But yeah, look, when I looked him up, and he was just talking about the technological progress and how every government has to face that.
Andrew Yang, right?
Not
Donald
Yang.
Trump.
No,
I was like-
oh god, no. No.
Yeah.
When Andrew Yang mentioned the fact that we got to look reality in the face in
Yes.
the next 5 to 10 years.
Yes.
We're gonna have so much automation, and a lot of people are gonna lose their jobs. Like, that's even related to Australia. We have some stats here. We'll show you later about how many people in different states are gonna just have to either reskill or
Right.
they will just lose their job, and then with our very broken Centrelink system.
Oh, 100%. I completely agree.
And like
It's like
yeah.
it's interesting because like I wasn't
insane.
aware how badly broken it was until you actually told me how bad it is.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was like just free money, but it's worse than that. Like it's
No, it's not. They like
it's
a lot
terribly managed.
Yeah.
Like literally, and yeah, go ahead. Like what you were saying.
Well, when I was a student initially, like first 2 years when I was full time, I was working, but I was also receiving Centrelink.
Yeah.
And the thing is that with that was that the amount of hoops you had to like jump through to actually get that.
Right.
That was insane. Like, when you're starting full time, you're working on the side. You barely have any time, like
Right.
to do your assignments, and then you have to also like keep, keeping up with all the admin stuff for Centrelink, because they
Right.
would require you to fill out things on a regular basis, and then if you don't fill it out on time, they would like question it and not send you the payment through, and then you'll have to like be on the phone to them.
And then you have to stand in line as well at some point, right?
Stand in line, yeah.
Oh god, that's like so. I would say. Not depressing, yes, but at the same time,
it
it's
puts
very
you down and makes you feel like less of a person.
Yeah, 100%. It's like
and then you like have to explain.
Dehumanizing sort of.
You
like,
have to explain why you're poor, and like it's like, oh look, I'm studying full time and I have this job on the side, but like it's still not enough to pay the bills. But yeah, and even at the end of the day, if you would forget to do it on time, they would not send you the payment through.
Right.
And like, and then sometimes like they would cancel your payments. You would have to do the whole process again. From the
So like a
beginning.
lot of bureaucracy.
Just a lot
involved,
of bureaucracy, and like the thing is that it wasn't even effective. Like, you know, I understand when you need to fill out a lot of papers, but then they hold that information. No,
Yeah.
it's like you have to fill out the papers, and then you have to like fill out more, and then you would have to like provide more information, and continuously it's like basically another side job. Like
Oh,
you would get another job by dealing with Centrelink, and you know, so many there were like.
It's more like it's like as if the government feels that they're doing you a big favor by actually giving you that money rather.
Yeah, they're doing big favor. They're doing a big favor to people who are trying to study and make be the future of the country. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna be a nurse. I'm gonna be like, you know, a very useful citizen.
Right.
And then I have to prove that I'm.
Yeah, it's pretty
worth of
depressing
something.
actually. I thought like it was like an easy thing, but it's not. Definitely, it's not.
No, but yeah, you would know about it because you were back then. You were an international student.
Yeah,
you
back
guys
then,
get
long time ago.
You guys get completely stuffed.
Hey
I feel
man,
sorry for you.
hey, my parents paid the dues, yeah? I'm kidding. I'm extremely grateful. I'm trying to make the world a better place, man. Although my parents still think I'm a failure, so it doesn't matter.
Look, it's really hard to impress ethnic parents. Am I right?
That is true.
Like my mom is always like she would always be like,
hey, you're like Russian, right? Obviously.
well, yeah, I mean my mom is Ukrainian, but like it's so
Yeah, but
hard
you
to
guys
impress
are,
her.
like-
It's so hard to impress.
Everyone
like,
from that area, you can say they're like the white Asian people, so it's.
is it?
Yeah, I would say that like easily because you guys have like pretty tough parents too. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
Actually.
No, you know, I mean that one time when I did CPR on someone, she was impressed with me for like one day,
Yeah.
and then it was back to normal.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
That's not.
Oh yeah, so back in 2016 when it was introduced, like there's a whole restructure of the way Centrelink calculates what people owe.
Yeah.
So basically they just average someone's income,
Yeah.
and then based on the average, which quite often is very, very off the real income that the person has,
Yeah.
they then send to the recipients of Centrelink payments, they send them the debt notice saying that they owe them like Centrelink heaps of money, like, you know, thousands of dollars.
Right.
And there were very vulnerable people who received those notices, who, like, you know, single mothers who are recovering from different addictions, different young people like, who are carers, full-time carers, or like older full-time carers.
Right.
Very vulnerable people who have like very poor literacy as well,
Mm-hmm.
and like just very, you know, just sort of very unable to deal with difficult situations like that.
Right.
Who had like people have killed themselves because they couldn't deal with the stress. They didn't know like how am I supposed to pay it off. Like they were literally just so stressed about the money that they had
Right.
to. It wasn't even the money that they had to pay off. It was the notice itself wasn't calculated properly. So Centrelink was taken to court by
Right.
people, and I'm not sure. I haven't followed that story, but like. There are people who took Centrelink to court,
Right. So it's basically a technically flawed system as well. Right?
Yeah, no,
it's
yeah.
pretty flawed. Like it's not just the bureaucracy and the whole process of how bad it is and how derogatory it is towards people.
Yeah.
Like, in general, but technically it's pretty fucked up as well.
It's false, yeah. The whole process is false. So it's bureaucracy, the whole system, the way that it's set up. You know, a lot of employees, whenever someone stuffs up,
Yeah.
you don't know who stuffed up. Like the actual recipient of the payment cannot go and complain about the
Right,
employee,
right.
because the information about the employee is not given out.
Yeah.
So basically, employer could be really stuffing up a lot of vulnerable people by doing incorrect things in the system, and they will never get, you know, they will never be obliged to like, you know, deal with the actual person who is vulnerable and who has been put in a difficult situation.
That
because
makes
of their
sense because
decisions.
it's happening completely under the government entity, like in general. That's what I'm saying. Like when you're going to buy a property, right? A middle class or above middle class person has to think about a lot of things when he's buying that property.
Yeah.
But for someone like from outside, like China or something, who has like a ton of money, he doesn't have to think about anything.
Yeah,
he just
just
buy
like-
it off.
There you go.
he literally just exactly. He'll just buy it off. He's like, yeah, whatever, man.
And that one on the side as well.
Like, dude,
That
there's
one,
literally
with the pool, that one.
like I have these Chinese friends, like they're really chilled out people, but like
Yeah.
there's literally this BMW fucking servicing thing, place, and most of the time you just see Chinese people over there.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, it's so funny. I don't blame the Chinese for this, but actually, a lot of like-minded people like me, who are Chinese as well, they agree with this fact as well that when they come, okay, you've come to a foreign country, right?
Yeah.
So your whole idea to come to a foreign country is to interact with like different people. I'm
Yeah.
assuming, right?
Yeah. To like,
Why would you just stick to your own community, man? Doesn't make sense like at all. I mean, I understand, but still, you could have I could have done that by staying home in India, right? Like,
that's a good question, but I think there's a whole push and pull between wanting to be part of this new country, but also feeling nostalgic or feeling like you don't belong and like having
but that's the
language
thing.
barrier. So
I would say, see, I agree with the struggle, but I am when you're making that decision, right, to go to a foreign country, it's a given that you're going to interact with foreign people.
well, the thing is that quite a lot of them, they don't make that decision. Their parents make that decision for them.
That's true.
And
I agree.
they may not even want to be in that country.
I
you know,
agree,
like
I
when
agree.
when I worked at UCID, I had a couple of students that came to me when I worked at the
True,
student
true.
center.
I agree with this.
And like
100%.
I was their actual I wasn't a counselor, but like they would come to me. I was like a student advisor, and they're studying degrees that they absolutely hate. They don't want to be studying them, but their parents are forcing them, as in because they financially depend on their parents, and they have the parents
I
sort of
agree.
force them, saying that you have to do it because I've
Right.
fed you, I've clothed you, so now you owe me to do this
I agree
degree
with you.
and do this job. So a lot of them don't want to be here, I think. A lot of them just want to be
agree.
doing something else, or even be here but do something else.
100%. Because I feel that is like a big problem. Whatever you suggested right now, the fact that the parents like sort of, it's like a forced thing. Plus, the government gives them a lot of incentive. Like the home country gives them a lot of incentive to go out and study and then come back. But the thing is, it's more like the education system in Australia sort of enables.
Oh yeah.
And they literally drop down the standards, which
Yeah,
is
they
like
do,
being
which
a bit
especially
of bad.
language standards
It's
as well.
insane,
There's
right?
so many people that complain
Like,
that
remember the type of people we used to deal with at the school?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, can't you speak
barely
English?
speak English. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, what the?
They do like a master's degree. I'm like,
Wow, like how?
how are you doing it?
Like, it's not even fair to them, dude. You won't believe this. I literally had I told you about this dude, right? Like,
Yeah.
So the Pakistani dude who lives with me, like who's gone back, like
Yeah,
he's on
yeah,
his in his final year, and dude, he like the group projects and all that stuff, right? So he has this Asian dude, and look, usually Asians are really good at studies, okay? Trust me. But what I'm trying to
I
say,
mean, we could just look at you and know you're good at studying.
dude, okay, I'm not. so what I'm saying is, so
The
he
nerd
has,
vibes.
yeah. So he has. Stop with the nerd hating, okay?
I'm not hating, dude. I'm doing a channel with him. He's thinking I'm
Right.
hating him. What?
Right.
What?
I can sense the sarcasm. Okay. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So what I was saying is, so he has this Asian dude in his group,
Mhm.
and he literally doesn't do jack shit. But the thing is, every single time, like they sort of try to confront him, like, "Hey, dude,
Yeah.
you got to do something, right?" He just shows them a picture of his kids. And he's like, I have these two kids. I have to get back to them. Please, I want to pass this subject or whatever.
What?
And my friend is like, dude, what the fuck? And he can't do anything. He's like,
Is that a real thing?
dude, legit. I'm not even kidding you. He literally, like every single time they're like, dude, because he failed the unit twice. So the only things that's stopping him from going back home is not finishing that unit and getting his degree. And like, I'll be honest with you, some units in the uni are literally designed so that for international
fail,
students
yeah.
fail.
Oh, I know.
Like-
There was a propulsion unit in engineering. I
Yes,
remember. I remember. I don't
It's a
didn't
killer.
do engineering,
It's a killer.
but I was a student advisor, and there was this unit.
It's a
Every
killer.
single
Trust me, it's a killer.
Engineering student.
I think it has a
Hated.
30% pass rate. 30%. Dude.
Yeah.
So you're gonna fail it. You're probably gonna fail it, or
At least once.
2 out of 3 times you're gonna fail it. Because it had like a 30% pass rate, dude. That's like less than
It
fucking.
propulses you like out of the uni.
I
Propulses you into KFC, like working for KFC. You know.
Just think like paying for an aero degree and like fucking failing and working in KFC. That's like depressing as
Very
shit.
sad. Especially an engineering degree. You could be
And-
earning so much money with engineering.
Yeah, but dude,
like,
you know the best part is like the unit is actually not bad. It's actually very interesting. The teachers suck. Like literally they suck. It's like it's not even fair. Like dude, like I had this dude like who used to teach us control dynamics and he was from MIT.
Mm-mm.
But he used to suck at teaching. So it never used to translate. I mean, you might be good at something, right? It's something like lucid.
Yeah, we had a lecturer like that. She
Exactly.
published so many great papers. Like you would read her papers and like, you know, just the actual design of the experiment was great. You know, the conclusion was clear to
100%.
read, but her teaching, oh. Anyway,
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
no, I
it's
get it.
pretty
I
it's
get
pretty
it.
bad, man. Like, but I don't know like how do they equate teaching with actually having some accomplishments, because that doesn't equate like doesn't like
Yeah, no.
you can't be a good teacher even if you know everything about that unit. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but like there's a lot of the issues in academia where you have to like you probably heard of it where like you basically lecturers are kind of forced into producing papers because if they don't, they will be replaced by
Yeah.
someone else who produces papers. So.
That has another level of bureaucracy there as well. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
oh god, it's
Oh,
depressing.
studying on bureaucracy in that's a whole different video, guys. Like the bureaucracy
The
at
politics,
universities.
the student politics.
The
It's
bureaucracy,
insane.
let me tell you later.
It's
in
so
a different
bad.
video. Yeah. I
So
just
bad.
want to get some hot water. I will be back. Yo, sorry. Okay.
I think we went off topic.
We did. We went very much off topic. Let's go back to what attracted you to like what was the first time you heard about Andrew Yang? Because you were the guy who were like, dude, you have to check him out. Like he was just like to me, dude, you have to watch it. You have to watch his videos. I was like, okay, calm down. I'll watch it. Just give me a break. So when did you come to see? Like when was the first time you knew about him and like what attracted you to him?
So
cetera.
I'll be honest with you, like this is legit a thing, okay?
Yeah.
Because I've been working like in different like settings like Apple and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and there's warehouse settings where like I see people doing certain jobs which are like very repetitive in nature.
Mm.
And when he spoke about these things, yeah, exactly, yeah, pick packing stuff like warehouse jobs which have like scanning
Yeah.
or whatever, and literally, dude, like I saw machines replacing them. The job the person used to do was basically go to that end, okay, of the room, scan some boxes from there, get those boxes this side, and pile them up on this crate, and then the crate used to be picked up by a forklift. So now that bot basically scan.
Well, to be honest, from one side, okay, it's,
Just forget it. Like literally, it's warehouse jobs. Just forget about it. Next 5 years,
But
gone.
the person, that was doing that job, from one side, yeah, he lost his job. But from the other side,
Yeah.
if we could replace his job with something more meaningful, like I would hate to do that for a living, like, scanning things all day. Like, what kind of satisfaction does it give to that
I
person?
agree.
Unless, like, they're really, like, a simpleton person who really just, just there's nothing for them that's interesting in life. They could be satisfied with that. But every single person I know would hate to do that for a living.
Oh, 100%. It's just that, like, let's be honest here. People who are doing most of those jobs don't have like a formal education. Like in terms of actual education, they never finish uni or they never go to uni. They're mostly they just like finish high school and they're there. You know what I'm saying? Or they don't even do high school.
I don't
in
know. A
most
lot of people
cases.
who finished high school, I know they're earning much more money than I am now because they did trades from like year 11 and 12. And by now, like
But-
some of them own houses. And
No, but trades is a really good thing. Like
Yeah.
plumbers, electricians, stuff like that. HVAC installers,
Yeah.
air conditioning repairers. Those guys are set because it's very hard to automate those kind of jobs. Like
Yeah.
you can't like have a robot
I
plumber
mean-
anytime soon.
I mean, there's an infographic like that I'm gonna link down But basically, it does say that a lot of like construction and like mining laborers, as well as
Yes.
like laziers, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Excuse me, my import accent. Plasterers and tilers. Like, there's a really high susceptibility, you know, to being replaced by machines in 5 to 10 years at some point. So, also like food preparation assistants and cleaners and laundry workers, like pretty
Yeah,
high
a lot of
percentage.
these things are like viable, and that's why like I like Andrew Yang, because he sort of understands these things because he comes from the tech world. Like he knows that,
Yeah.
and it's gonna affect a lot of things. Like if even in Australia, right? Because the government is really sad. Like let's be honest here, and there's no, good example to follow.
Of leadership.
Yeah,
There's
anywhere.
not even like, to be honest, like, you know, I'm very far left in terms of like economic stuff, but in terms of like just, you know, socially, like the social policies that Greens have, just a lot of them are just like mind blowing how
Yeah,
crap they are.
right.
But like, yeah, in terms of the leadership, in terms of technological, you know, progress and thinking forward in regards to technology,
Yeah.
I haven't heard one politician talk about it in Australia.
Yeah, because they're never, dude, most of them are like super old. And like, they're like boomers, man. Like, literal boomers. Like, boomers, and like, unfortunately, like, just think about it this way. Like, dude, just imagine you being old, okay? Like, if I was old, I would actually think about the next generation rather than thinking about myself. Like, if you
Oh,
know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Because I've lived my life, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, these guys, they don't share that. Like, it's so sad, man. Like, maybe they don't have the vision. I don't know, like, what's going on in their brain. Maybe they just want to keep enjoying life till the end. I don't know what the logic is.
Yeah, I don't
But how
understand
can
the
you be
logic
like
though.
that,
I
man?
don't
Like,
get it.
it's like, because like I keep trying to understand what is this issue these guys have. Like, they're in a good place and all that stuff. They want to be like chilled out and have a good life and all that stuff. But dude, it's still going nowhere, man. Like, you're not going to live more than 100 or something, right? And you're
Yeah.
not going to even reach 100.
And looking at
So-
their, just like looking with my healthcare professional eyes at a lot of
Yeah.
politicians, like their waistline, you know, they're very prone to heart disease later in life, diabetes, heart
Yeah.
disease. So whatever age they will live to, like, you know, when it's past like 70, they will most
Fucking-
likely won't have a great
Fucking,
quality
you
of
get
life.
like $280 fucking food allowance, like, and you get
Yeah.
fat as shit. Like,
Yeah,
what's gonna happen?
$280 per day of food allowance. Just food. That's an allowance.
What a
It's
joke.
not even part of the salary. It's an allowance. on
You know,
top of
I
the
think
salary.
that money would probably go to a hard laborer, and he could actually utilize it because he would actually consume more food because he's actually doing hard labor somewhere.
Yeah,
But
you
these
know-
guys are sitting on their asses in the fucking office doing jack shit, making shitty decisions, which is causing a lot of fire. That's what they're doing,
yeah, like,
basically.
you know, the whole, like, you know,
It's insane, actually. It's
we
like,
have a
can't
catastrophe, a
understand.
fire catastrophe. We had 2 volunteer firefighters who died last night. We have people getting burns, 3 firefighters in critical condition with burns, and our government, a couple of days, like, they've passed a bill about religious discrimination bill or
Right.
something to do with like
it's stupid, man.
that people of certain like religions will be able to discriminate and like, or like say that, you know, I won't treat you like because I am Catholic and you're like, I don't know, transsexual or you're lesbian,
Right,
so
yes.
I'm not gonna treat you because I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is irrelevant. Like, we have bigger issue. We have fires. We like, people can't breathe.
100%.
Like, what kind of leadership is that? Like, you know, even a 10-year-old would understand that
It's
this is a bigger issue
literally-
than religious freedom
I
right
agree
now.
with you 100%. Like, the leadership is complete trash, and like the reason why it's trash is because there's no good example for leadership anymore. All the leadership, all the leadership like at the top is like literally outdated at this point, and it's like everyone's just working for the the big companies, the big boys basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
because
even in
our
Australia,
government is in bed
Yeah.
with coal.
like even in Australia, right? Any guy who's like running for whatever office, right? He's completely funded by like the private companies most of the time. Like,
Yeah,
don't you think?
absolutely. Yeah, no, we're one of the biggest coal exporters in the world, if not the biggest.
Because
Yeah, we are the biggest coal exporter in the world. In 2018, according to like World Exports website.
like this is what happens when you have an outdated system running the whole,
This is what happens
Government.
when people don't give a shit about politics as well.
Exactly. Like it's
And donkey vote.
that dude. That's
You
what I'm.
guys, donkey voting. I'm gonna get you.
Hey, I don't stand. to
Yeah,
that
you don't
shit,
vote.
yeah.
It's okay.
So yeah, what is the thing is, all these issues are actually deep seated because, let's be honest here, young people usually don't vote because of the fact is they don't give a shit. Like,
I mean,
you know?
they vote, but they donkey vote.
Yeah.
Or
like-
they like say, "Oh, I don't follow politics." I don't.
Yeah.
Like, politics decides your life, mate.
But that's
like
what
you
I'm
need
saying.
to follow it.
That's what I'm saying. The best part about him is that's one good thing about him. That
Andrew
he,
Yang.
Exactly. He actually understands that to get some young individual interested into politics is to lower the voting age. So what he plans to do is we'll lower it from 18 to 16 years of age.
Really?
Which will be amazing. Just imagine, dude, being in colleges, unis and stuff like that, and actually having a say. If you're 16 years old, the whole dynamic changes because, like I said before, like you know this, boomers are running the whole show right now.
Yeah.
We need young people inside over there, man. And if you have like voting rights in the hands of 16 years old, they can understand certain things what's happening around them.
To be honest, I'm not sure if 16 years old is a good age because a lot of people at 16 years old, they're influenced by their parents. Like, my worldview changed like 180 degrees when I started sort of separating myself from my
Yeah, I agree.
parents,
But
my
I
parents
think
as well.
like even we are a bit like, because like we are in our 20s, right? But the thing is, we are, if you think about it in terms of the way technology has come up till this point, I never used to watch as much as YouTube or all that stuff.
Oh yeah, man. I'm watching
As
so
you know
much
what I'm
YouTube.
saying, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, right? Like when like you see your brother, right? He's what?
10, but
10
like
or-
he's not watching much because he doesn't have any
Yeah,
technology. He doesn't
yeah.
have
But like, his
anything to
case
use.
is unique. But like in general, like a lot of
Yeah.
kids, they have a lot of exposure to social media and everything.
Yeah.
So even if they have these parents who
Very
are like,
vulnerable too.
yeah, exactly. If they are like pressurizing them and putting their own ideologies on those kids, they are still exposed to a variety of social media, which is like a blessing and a
That's
curse.
true,
at
but
the
then
same
there's
time.
an issue with social media because there will be like certain algorithms. So for example,
Oh, there
if-
is.
like yeah,
Yes,
yeah. So
there
if
is,
you're
yeah.
a child
I agree.
of someone who is like in a very pro right wing,
Yeah.
the question you're gonna type in or pro right or pro left doesn't matter, pro something. The questions they're going to type in in Google, it will be very much like what happened. Okay, let's say some people say that 9/11 was an inside job.
Yep.
I can't imagine like how that could be real. But anyway, let's say a child is researching whether it's true or not. So they will type in, was 9/11 an inside job?
And
what
they'll
are-
get information about that
Yeah,
specifically
and they
without
will-
verifying
they will-
exactly if it's right
they
or
will
wrong.
find
Yes,
what they want
I
to
agree,
find.
I
So the thing
agree.
is that because we are living in the age where your computer knows you better maybe
Exactly.
than you know yourself.
That's true.
Your answers will depend on the questions you're asking.
I agree.
So it makes a lot of those vulnerable as in mentally vulnerable people that are like 16 years old, that are influenced by their parents. The questions they're asking will be similar to whatever parents are
Yeah,
saying,
I
and
agree.
the algorithm will give them back and further prove that they are right, correct. It's
True,
not
true,
only it's
true.
not until like they get exposed to like people, because I personally have learned through being exposed to people
Yep.
that had completely different worldview to me,
Yeah.
and that was just blow my mind. I was like, oh my god, there's someone who believes a completely different thing, and they actually seem to make sense. Let me have a look at it.
Yeah.
That's when I started to ask those questions, and I've put my questions were different then, and that happened later. Like they happened, at the age of 21, 22,
Yeah, I
something
agree.
like that.
But I think like at this point, I agree with you 100%.
Okay, so the battery died. We had to wait for it to charge.
Yeah, we were talking about Centrelink and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, we were, but also about like how basic income, just the whole idea about the basic income and how it sort of frees the person frees you from the stigma of like, oh, you're getting some support from the government, like you are trash because you're getting some support. It's just.
I guess it's more like because you sort of have this.
I always grab the cup the wrong way. Just always grab it like that. Yeah.
What was I saying? Yeah. Basically, it basically gives you a right as a human being to live decently. That's what I feel. It's every human being's right to live decently, and your value as a human being is not decided by an economic standard.
Yeah, and I like the idea that
Few.
it's not, there's not there's not going to be that much bureaucracy about it because, you know,
100%.
every single person that works at Centrelink, they need to get paid. Like, and there will be automation, there will be even more automation at
100%,
Centrelink
yes.
as well. Like, the automation will affect Centrelink. So there will be even more issues with the robots sending, like, you know, wrong things to people.
Yeah, that's
Like-
the thing. Like, people don't see this like happening because they don't see actual robots replacing stuff.
Yeah, because people think of a robot, it's like
Yeah.
going to be like
They think
a
like
human- a
Terminator
human
style.
looking-
Yeah. They
That's
think
not
like,
it.
oh, a bot is gonna come and like literally start doing everything,
No.
and everything. That doesn't
It's just
happen.
going to be
man.
this little thing doing my job.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know what happens in reality if you see like I'm just telling her if you see like across the room the next room is literally a coding area.
Oh yeah.
So they all write codes for like high level algorithms, and they're basically trying to automate a lot of things right there.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, automation engineers is great. It's a great job. But you mentioned how even basic code that can be written by a machine, so you don't even need it like
yeah,
a
dude,
professional, like a
100%,
person
yes,
to do
dude.
it.
Basically, everyone in the tech industry, like at the upper echelon, is going to be really the one calling the shots, you
Yeah.
know, in terms of everything happening and technology. So I guess that's that, like in terms of machines replacing people, like in the workplace.
Yeah, it can be a very bad thing, but if we do the right thing, you know, we control it in the right way, we could use it.
Yes,
you know, we could
100%.
harness it.
100%. It's just that.
Yeah.
Just be careful and try to get into trades which are not
Be
easily
smart.
replaceable. Yeah,
Be
exactly.
smart.
Be
Be
smart.
smarter. All right. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah.
And
That was
we'll
great.
see you in the next video.
Yeah, man.
Ciao.
Peace out.